2, check. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, y'all. I have a jam-packed show for you on Friday. My Outlouders know how much I love a Friday, and I love a jam-packed show. So I get 2 good things going on for me for the end of this week. All right. In our lead stories, Don Lemon arrested for violating the FACE Act and conspiracy. Then we're going to jump into quick news. We have come to the end of the Epstein files. And what do you know? Donald Trump is in hot water. Luigi Mangione wins in court. We're also going to talk to Nicki Minaj. Donald Trump back with his rhetoric in Minnesota. Sha'Carri Richardson has been put in jail and arrested. And Catherine O'Hare is gone at 71 years old. Really unfortunate about that. As always, we're going to close out the show with social discussion. And today we do not have a lesson of the day or a question of the day because I'm very excited to come to talk to you guys about Luigi, Epstein, and Don Lemon. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, radio, your devices up. Come on. It's Friday. And I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right. What up? Yes, I'm feeling good. Let's go. Round of applause. I'm starting off this show with a round of applause. And some air horns. It's Friday. All right, y'all. I'm very excited. I'm in a great mood. Y'all know I love a Friday, but what I love even more than a good Friday is having a good show. And I have a jam-packed show for you guys. A lot of stuff has been going on. I've been watching Fox News all day. I've been watching CNN all day. I've been online all day. And I have a lot to discuss with you guys, okay? Shout out to everybody who is joining us on live stream on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Kick. Okay, let's kick things off with Don Lemon. Now, today, I woke up to the Don Lemon news and I jumped right away on Instagram. I have a 2-minute kind of quick reel that I put together for you guys that I want to play, and then we will break down section by section. But I want to start off with this reel to just get everybody on the same page. And then y'all know how I do. I'm going to dissect and we're going to deep dive. We're going to get into the laws. We're going to get into what's happening. We're going to get into what scares me about this. I feel there's something that a lot of people are not talking about. I'm free Don Lemon. I'm free, public journalists, YouTubers, content creators. I'm on that side. But there's a part in the law that scares me. Listen to this and we'll dissect it at the end. Take a listen. Lemon has been arrested. And while I stand by all journalists and content creators, I did make it very clear on my show that Don Lemon may face criminal charges because he may have violated the FACE Act. So according to the FACE Act, you're not allowed to go into a church and protest. And this is the question I asked when this broke last week. Don was not protesting, but he entered the church with the protesters. If I am outside of a bank and I know that there is a bunch of bank robbers going to rob a bank, and I, as a YouTuber, want to document and follow these robbers inside of the bank, should I be held for a crime or am I protected under the First Amendment? That is what we are going to find out with this Don Lemon case. The FACE Act, in simple terms, was passed in 1994. It makes it illegal to use force, threat, or physical obstruction to stop somebody from entering or leaving a place of worship. The head of the DOJ, Pam Bondi, said on social media that Lemon and 3 others were arrested early Friday at my direction in connection with the coordinated attacks on city churches. Don Lemon's attorney said last week that a magistrate judge rejected charges against Lemon. A source told ABC News that Bondi last week was enraged at the magistrate judge's decision not to charge the journalist.
Magistrate judge declined to bring charges against Don Lemon. Why the change? Well, because the Justice Department clearly found something that they feel like will stick in court.
Here's a statement from Don Lemon's attorney. It's basically just saying that Don Lemon was arrested while he was covering the Grammys last night in LA, that he should be protected by the First Amendment. And then he went on to rightfully attack the Trump administration and said, instead of investigating the federal agents who unalived 2 peaceful Minnesota protesters, the Trump Justice Department is devoting its time and attention and resources to arrest Don Lemon. Please do not come at me in the comment section. I stand with content creators. I stand with journalists. I stand with Don Lemon. I hope all these charges are dropped and he is freed. This will set a precedent for me and other content creators. However, I still ask the question, is it legal for me as a journalist to enter a place of worship when it is breaking the law? We will talk about this on. Okay, so that is that. Okay, now I want to make a few things clear. I already made it clear in that video, but I stand with Don Lemon. I stand with journalists. I stand with content creators. 3 things I also want to make very clear. We all know that this is revenge against Don Lemon. Donald Trump has been quoted as saying that Don Lemon is the dumbest man on TV when he was on CNN. And we all know that Donald Trump hates Don Lemon. He has gone after a bunch of other people, Letitia James, the former FBI director. It's not a surprise going after Don Lemon. We do know that this is an attack on Don Lemon and not because he may have violated the FACE Act. 1. 2, we also know, well, we should know that Don being arrested this morning and the Epstein files being released is not a coincidence. I'm sure we all are aware of that. This is Donald Trump trying to create other things in the media so that we do not talk about the Epstein files. And by the way, we will talk about the Epstein files right after this. So it did not work, Mr. Trump. Now, there has been 2 judges that have denied the arrest of Don Lemon. Okay, the DOJ has tried 2 times and 2 judges said no. From what I'm hearing, they went to a grand jury and the grand jury gave the DOJ permission. Well, not permission, but they voted that, yes, you have reasonable amount of evidence to arrest Don Lemon. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean much because Don Lemon is not there to defend himself. His lawyer's not there to defend himself. And a grand jury is just people. So you bring people together and you could tell them a bunch of stuff and they're like, all right, okay, cool. It doesn't mean that it's going to hold up, but it does grant the DOJ permission to arrest Don Lemon. So that is how you can arrest somebody, even when you have 2, and what I've even heard too, also is that 3 judges have told the DOJ no. Now, even with the grand jury, these are the 2 charges that Don Lemon is charged with. 1 is Section 248 violation of the FACE Act, which we're going to define. And the other one is 242, which is conspiracy. And conspiracy to go and protest in a place of worship is the other thing that scares me, because if you got a text message from the leader of this protest, which I'm going to play some video for you, that could go under conspiracy. Conspiracy is, hey, did you have prior knowledge? Do you know where you're going? Did you conspire with people to go in and protest inside of a place of worship, which would be a violation of the FACE Act? So those are the 2 charges that Don Lemon is facing. Now, this is the video that a lot of people, I don't know if they're forgetting about or they just don't understand how the law works, but I want to play this video for you. And this video is Don Lemon in a parking lot speaking with the head of the protest movement. And Dawn says in this clip, we are outside. I'm with the leader of the protest. We're going to go to a secret place and we're going to go and protest. I will bet you any amount of money this is the video that the DOJ is using to show that Don wasn't walking by the church and just so happened to see this protest and was like, oh, let me go in and document it. Don was in the parking lot, know that there was a protest, and he rode along with them. Listen to this.
This is an operation that is a secret that they invited folks out.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual.
This is an operation that is a secret that they invited folks out.
This is an operation. This is secret. They invited folks out. If the DOJ gets Don's cell phone records, text messages, if they could prove in some way that he knew what they were about to do, he met them in a parking lot and then went with them, it's going to be an uphill battle for Don Lemon. Once again, I pray not. I hope not. I myself am a YouTuber. Don's was live on YouTube, just how I'm live on YouTube now. So Don is a colleague, okay? We are both YouTubers. So I hope and pray that Don can beat this. But if they can prove that, his lawyer is going to have an uphill battle. Okay, I've already been on the phone today with 2 or 3 lawyers talking about this. So another thing that I wanted to play for you right here is this post. This here, let me move it aside here. I put this out January the 20th. And my title was Don Lemon Might Go to Jail. And a lot of you guys dragged me for this. What are you saying? How could you say that Don Lemon go to jail? You're on their side. And I just would like to reiterate, I am always on the side of reporting, just like how Don is reporting. And I'm always on the side of facts, the law, and receipts. And I'm not putting this up here to say, hey, I was right, but I do know the law. Y'all know that a lot of you follow me from my daily coverage inside the courtroom in the Diddy trial, one of 14 people or content creators in there. And I do know from that one video, Don being outside in a parking lot, traveling with a group of protesters, then going into a place of worship, may be grounds enough to at least talk to a grand jury and get him arrested. That is why I made this title. So just want to reiterate that to you guys. I'm not hoping and praying for anything. I'm just reporting, and I know how the law works. And especially I know how somebody like the Trump administration and Pam Bondi can wiggle their way in and out of laws to arrest somebody. And even though this charge might not stick, what Donald Trump wants to do, like he's doing with Letitia James and a former FBI director and all the other people that have gone against them, is he wants them to go through what he went through. He wants them to be arraigned. He wants them to be arrested. He wants them to take a mugshot. He wants them to have to go to trial. Of course, he would love to put all of them in jail, but he just wants to get retribution to say, you see what I went through? You have to go through it now. The difference is that a lot of the things that Donald Trump went through, he was actually really guilty of, all right? Because he has, how many, 91 charges and I think 34 convictions, or if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, we all know that this is retribution, okay? Now, let's go to the judge, okay? This is what the judge has said when the government first went to a judge. The judge says, the government lumps 8 protesters together and says things that are true of some, but not all of them. 2 of the 5 protesters were not protesting at all. Instead, they were a journalist and his producer, talking about Don Lemon. There is no evidence that those 2 engaged in any criminal behavior or conspiracy to do so. And this was Judge Patrick, January the 23rd, District of Minnesota. Okay, so this is the DOJ, Pam Bondi, failing. And that was a quote from one of the judges. Now, I already showed you Don's statement, but to be fair, I just want to read it in its entirety for some of those of you who have not seen it. This is Don Lemon's statement via his attorney. Don Lemon was taken into custody by federal agents last night in Los Angeles, where he was covering the Grammy Awards. Don has been a journalist for 30 years, and his constitutionally protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he has always done. The First Amendment exists to protect journalists whose role it is to shine light on the truth and hold those in power accountable. There is no more important time for people like Don to be doing this work. And this is where I think is the best thing that Don and his lawyers put out today, and rightfully so. Instead of investigating the federal agents who unalived 2 peaceful Minnesota protesters, the Trump Justice Department is devoting its time, attention, and resources to this arrest. And that is the real indication of wrongdoing in this case. Shout out to that. Like, this makes no sense. Renee Good was unalived. You're not investigating the officer, and I have played that video at length, 2 or 3 different episodes. The first shot, you might want to question it. The second and third shot, he was on the side, and that we know now from the autopsy report, that's the shot that unalived her, and you're not investigating, but you're investigating Renee Good's wife, and you're investigating Don Lemon. It's just crazy. But like I said, this is the law. They could find little loopholes and little backdoor things to trip people up. This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crises facing this administration will not stand. This is what I said to you. He did this on purpose today, the day the Epstein files released. And also, of course, he released them on a Friday when everyone's gone for the weekend. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court. You all know that I will be at that court case if these charges stick and Don has to go to court. I will be there, and I'll be calling on every single content creator and every single YouTuber to be front and center to be fighting for Don Lemon. You can count on that. Okay, now in the video that I played for you earlier, I showed you guys the definition of the FACE Act, but I was able to dig a little deeper, and I think I may have found a loophole, and I'm sure Don's team probably found this as well. What is illegal under the FACE Act? And this is for churches. It is illegal to block entrances or the exits to a church, threaten worshipers or clergies, use physical force or intimidation, vandalism, or damage religious properties, interfere with service using force or obstruction. What is allowed? The FACE Act does not ban peaceful protesting, okay? Demonstrations or picketing that does not block access or involve threats. Free speech outside of churches as long as people are free to enter and leave. So, like I said, I gave the analogy of if I see bank robbers in a parking lot and I'm like, hey, you guys are robbing a bank. Okay, cool. I'm a YouTuber. I want to walk in there with you guys. I don't know if that's legal or not, but a bank, that is just an example. Now, if you take the church example, if you go by this definition, it is not illegal to enter the place of worship, but it is illegal to block the entrance or the exit. And I don't think that Don did that. Yeah, I know for sure he did not threaten the worshipers or the clergy, physical force or intimidation. Now, you might get some people to say, I felt intimidated. That is a little kind of asterisk over there. They didn't vandalize. They didn't damage any property. Did they interfere with the service using force or obstruction? They did interfere the service. You hear the pastor saying, hey, we're here doing service and you guys are interrupting it. So there is some gray areas there, but that is why they were able to get a grand jury who might not know the depths of the law to indict and charge Don Lemon. As I said, very, very, very scary. Okay, now, what else I want to do is I want to shed light on Georgia Fort. Georgia Fort is another content creator, another colleague that was in the church with Don, and she was also live streaming on YouTube. So I want to shed some light on her story as well. I have 2 videos. Here is her outside of her house, agents ready to serve her. And then I have one that's a little bit more close up of her inside of her home. Take a look.
Okay, well, this is really scary. There's kids in the house. You guys have not been really friendly in the community. And to me, this seems a little, can I finish, sir? Can I finish? Can I finish?
Get your phone.
This seems a little bit aggressive to have all these cars in our cul-de-sac, 2 or 3 agents, and now I saw the one disappear to the back. So to me, this is a little aggressive to just serve a warrant. Slide the warrant. Let me see the warrant.
You guys, I wanted to alert the public that agents are at my door right now. They're saying that they were able to go before a grand jury sometime, I guess, in the last 24 hours, and that they have a warrant for my arrest. I've talked to my attorney, and I'm being advised to go with them, I guess, down to Whipple. And my children are here. They're impacted by this. This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media. We are supposed to have our constitutional right of the freedom to film, to be a member of the press. I don't feel like I have my First Amendment right as a member of the press, because now federal agents are at my door arresting me for filming the church protest a few weeks ago. Again, I don't have a long time here, you guys, but I wanted you to know, for me, agents are at my door right now. My attorney has spoken with them. I did send a relative outside to talk to them. They're showing some type of documentation, apparently, that they got an indictment from a grand jury. I knew that I was on a defendant's list. I did not publish it because it was under seal. And so we've done everything that we can to try and abide by, the advice of our attorneys. But right now, you guys, I wanted you to know I'm going to have to hop off here and surrender to agents as a member of the press. I filmed the church protest a few weeks ago, and now I'm being arrested for that. It's hard to understand how we have a constitution, constitutional rights, when you can just be arrested for being a member of the press. We've seen all these violations. All right, you guys, I gotta go. They're knocking.
Yep, she's coming right now.
Give me 1 second. All right, guys. You want to?
All right. One thing that I would like to say, because y'all know that I like to be fair, with all of the crazy Border Patrol and ICE stuff that we have been seeing going on in Minnesota for the past 3 weeks, I would like to give a credit to, I don't know who went to pick her up, whether it be the DOJ or whoever served her. In her video, you don't hear them knocking. You don't hear them breaking down the door. She was able to call her lawyer. She was able to have time to go on YouTube live stream. She was able to have time to make that video. She called her lawyer. You see her there in that first video. Slide it under the door. Why are you so many people out here or whatever? And again, I am totally not standing up for them, but I'm saying in the light of some of the crazy things that we have seen, it seems as if they knew she was in the house, they served her, and they gave her time to call her attorney and get her things together, and even have the time to go and live stream and go on air. So just want to give them that credit. Now, I have two more things here. Everybody knows that Nicki Minaj, when Don first was speculated that he may be getting arrested for this, Nicki Minaj came out and said, arrest Don Lemon. He is horrible. He would never do this to any other religion, blah, 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 blah. And she's kind of been like the poster child of wanting Don Lemon to be arrested. She was sitting down with Stephen Miller's wife, because you know that Nicki Minaj is full MAGA right now because she got her citizenship. But this is what she said about Don Lemon. It's actually disgusting, but I wanted to show it for you guys.
Called for Don Lemon's arrest over his church stunt in Minneapolis. He's since called you racist, unhinged, homophobic, and out of your depth. Anything you'd like to say to Don Lemon?
Sucker, stop.
Just rude. Like there's no need, just no need, just distasteful. All right. Lastly here, on this Don Lemon subject, I wanted to shout out CNN. As you guys know, or some of you might know, Don Lemon worked for CNN for 16 years. And he was fired, and at the same time where Tucker Carlson was fired, and it was not an amicable departure. Don Lemon was not happy. But CNN put this out and said, CNN issues statement after Don Lemon is arrested by federal agents. The FBI arrested our former CNN colleague, Don Lemon, and it raises profound concerning questions about press freedom and the First Amendment. The Department of Justice already failed twice to get an arrest warrant for Don and several other journalists in Minnesota, where a chief judge of Minnesota Federal District Court found there was no evidence that there were any criminal behaviors involved in their work. The First Amendment in the United States protects journalists who bear witness to news and events as they unfold, in ensuring that they can report freely in the public interest, and the DOJ's attempts to violate those rights is unacceptable. We will follow this case closely. So shout out to CNN. Like I said, they have them and Don have always not seen eye to eye since his firing, but shout out to them for putting that out there. Now, in closing, to wrap this up, I will be coming over to the comment section. I still have a little things that I want to just wrap up here for you guys. We're going to talk about the Epstein files and some other stuff. Please stick around for those who are commenting. I really want to have a discussion. I'm telling you that video of Don in the parking lot, knowing where he is going to be the thing that is going to be hard to get over. And I pray it doesn't. I'll be sending out a video link if anybody wants to join and talk with me about this. And we'll be coming with that soon. Okay, let's go over to Epstein. Do I have some information for you guys with the Epstein files? We're going to go to quick news. We're going to talk Epstein. Luigi Mangione wins major in court. That's another case I'm going to go cover as well too. Nicki Minaj attends Melania's premiere. Trump is back with his rhetoric. He is now again talking poorly about Alex Petty because of that video that came out, that video of him kicking the ICE van 11 days ago, which I knew it was going to happen. We had hope. We heard that he was going to be pulling back ICE agents. Well, he said yesterday at Melania's premiere, he ain't pulling back and he's not backing down. Also, Olympic star Sha'Carri Richardson has been put in jail, and Catherine O'Hara has passed away at 71 years old. Let's go over to quick news right now. Okay, Epstein files. Sorry if I'm a little all over the place today, guys, but there's a lot of stuff that has been going on. Okay, and it has come quickly. All right, let's put
we are producing more than
hold on. Sorry. Okay. Let me remove this from the stage. I want to put this
million pages.
All right. The DOJ has released what they are saying is the final Epstein files. They are releasing 3 million pages along with videos and pictures. This will be the last of the Epstein files. There are 6 million files that will not be released due to active investigations and protecting the victims. The DOJ says that although that Donald Trump's name is in those files 13,000 times, Donald Trump's name is in the files 13,000 times. In the most recent release, there's nothing that shows that Donald Trump has broken the law. And I had a note here to say, let's just hope the DOJ made a mistake, because every time they release tranches of the files, there's a mistake. So when I wrote this out preparing for the show, I was like, guys, I pray there's going to be a mistake, thinking that we are going to get to the mistake on Monday's show, but there is already a mistake, okay? I'm going to play the press conference for you, and then I'm going to play for you the huge mistake that they made. Take a listen to this.
Today, we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images. In total, that means that the department produced approximately 3.5 million pages in compliance with the act. Just a quick note about the videos and images. The 2,000 videos and 180,000 images are not all videos and images taken by Mr. Epstein or someone around him. They include...
Okay, I can't say there. They include, y'all know what they include, okay? We'll get flagged on YouTube. Now, here is the mistake.
We have some major news right now. The Justice Department deleted a Epstein file that mentioned Donald Trump. This was the file that related to all of the allegations, accusations, complaints made against the President of the United States. The link now, when you click it, well, it's broken. It's unclear whether or not the Department of Justice is going to repost it, is moving things around. But this Epstein file's rollout, well, it's incompetent, to say the least. They've failed to redact survivor information that they should have in violation of the law. And now it looks like they're deleting the one document that had allegations against Donald Trump.
Okay, now I'm going to attempt to read a little part from an article here for you, because I know it frustrates some people. Because we're on YouTube, there's a lot of things that I cannot say here because they will flag this and may take down the video, okay? Because we know what Epstein was about and the things that are involved. Now, like I said to you before, there's nothing in the Epstein files that show that Donald Trump broke the law. The DOJ said that, and I told you guys that from the beginning. This is the president of the United States. He is in control of Pan Bondi. He's in control of the DOJ. For anybody that thought that Donald Trump, the DOJ or the FBI would release files showing that Donald Trump broke the law, well, listen, I got, ice to sell you if you live in the Antarctic. Like, this is just crazy. We all know that it wasn't going to happen. I told you guys it wasn't going to happen. So just, we could stop thinking that, okay? And also, too, there's Democrats that they need to protect. They're all homies, okay? This is just the WWF. But I did say that they're probably going to make a mistake, and this is what Aaron here was talking about. Now, again, like I said, I'm going to read this delicately, but I'll give you guys hints, and I'm sure you guys can figure it out. The release of 3.5 million documents was meant to comply with the Epstein Transparency Act, and among them were tips involving Donald Trump. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche made it clear these complaints are uncorroborated and that there is no evidence of criminal conduct by the president. Just so I want to reiterate, these are tips. These are what people are saying. No proof, no receipts, no pictures or facts. But you have people saying this. Now, again, why weren't these tips investigated? That's a whole other story, and I'm sure y'all know why, okay? Like I said, they're all there to protect each other. Now, here are the tips and allegations. Some allegations are wild. One claimed that Trump was asking one of the people to do something, and when they did, they accidentally bit him, and she got in trouble. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And that same person said that Epstein also did something, and that Trump was, how do I say this? He was measuring something with his fingers and on their parts, not his parts. That's all I'm going to say. I have read this whole thing on Instagram. It's over there. If you guys want to see, go to my Instagram page, Trent Out Loud or the Trent Out Loud Show. It's actually super disgusting. I don't think you even want to know. But if you do want to know the details of what has been removed off of the site, go and check it out. Like I said, I apologize that I can't read it out here. Even what I just said might even kind of just upset YouTube. But we hope that we can at least get through that. Okay, so I think that's it with the Epstein files. Like I said, feel horrible for the victims and survivors, but until there is a government in place that actually cares about the people, and that's why I say I'm independent, because Democrats have been in power when Epstein was there. We didn't get the information. Republicans are in power and we don't get the information. So to me, they're all in the same bucket. We have showed you pictures of Clinton and Trump together, Hillary and Trump together. They're all in cahoots. So unfortunately, I don't want to say it was not a waste, because at least we're getting some information, but it just breaks my heart that we cannot have a government that is not transparent with the people, because like I say all the time, the government is we the people. You're there to represent and protect the people of the United States of America. So this is just all kinds of wrong, okay? All right, let's now go over to Luigi Mangione. And we have a little update here from Luigi. He has a major win in court, and he is avoiding the unaliving penalty. Now, I have a write-up here. All right, so Luigi Mangione on Friday, U.S. District Judge dismissed a federal unaliving charge against Luigi Mangione, preventing prosecutors from seeking the unaliving penalty. According to AP News, the judge dismissed the federal unaliving charge, finding it was technically flawed. However, the stalking charge still remains, which carries a maximum of life in prison. ABC News reports that the judge also ruled that Mangione's trial can feature evidence seized from the backpack he wore when authorities arrested him in Pennsylvania. As previously reported, Mangione is accused of unaliving United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He has also pleaded not guilty in both state and federal charges. The state charges also carry a possible punishment of life in prison. Jury selection for Mangione's trial case is set to begin September the 8th. I will be there. The state trial has not been scheduled yet. He is due back in court later Friday for a conference in the case. So just want to reiterate, there's the state charge, which I'm not going to have to be there because there'll be cameras in the court. But the federal charges, that's where we will be, just like we were covering the Diddy trial. I think I just said this here, but I have my notes just to make sure. State was life, but because they took off because terrorism was dropped, he now faces a minimum of 15 years. They don't know when it's going to start. And now the federal case will start. I already told you this. Yes, it's starting in September, and he no longer faces the unaliving penalty. All right, so that's a big win for him, but he could still face life in prison. Okay, let's go now over to Nicki Minaj. I mean, Nicki Minaj is taking over headlines this week. We do know that we talked at length. Nicki Minaj with wanting to put Don Lemon in jail. She has been seen with Erica Kirk. She's been seen with Donald Trump this Wednesday. She showed everybody on Instagram her gold card, which is an expedited path to citizenship. Just to be clear, this does not mean that she is automatically a U.S. citizen, but it does give her a quick passway. And like I said, with Diddy, NBA Youngboy, anybody else, Kodak Black, anybody else who Donald Trump gives a pardon to, you must bend the knee and continue being a Trump supporter. You need to show up. You need to say that he's the best ever. We played a video for you where Nicki Minaj says, Donald Trump is my favorite president of all times. NBA Youngboy named his album Turn America Slime, Make America Slime Again. Kodak Black has said that he loves. This is why Diddy is still in jail, because Diddy is refusing to go this hard out. If you do, you can get whatever you want from Donald Trump. Here is Nicki Minaj yesterday. Guess where? Melania's premiere for her movie. Look at her in the box with Trump, shaking hands. Donald Trump Jr. Oh my gosh, we're best friends. I love you. There's Dr. Phil. I love you. Oh my gosh. Nicki, we love you. There's Trump. Nicki, we love you, Nicki. Go MAGA. Ridiculous, man. All right, just want to show you guys that to let you guys know that Nicki is not done. And, like Trump literally probably has a schedule for her. Like, you want to be a U.S. citizen? All right, cool. You're going to go to work. All right. Talking about Trump and Minnesota, I wanted to follow up on this quickly here. Donald Trump has, all right, let me take this down. Sorry. Donald Trump has put out this tweet, and it's really disappointing because I came on here, I don't know, when was it? I think in Wednesday. Let me take this off so you guys are not reading while I'm talking. I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday when Donald Trump said, I talk with Tim Walz, I talk with Mayor Fry. We're shockingly on the same page. We want to bring down the temperature. I'm going to send my border czar out there, Tom Homan. We need to calm down a little bit. Of course, because Alex Purdy was unalived. Gregory Bavino, and Christine Ohm, the head of the DHS, said a bunch of horrible things on Saturday, and Trump was getting immense backlash. So he had no choice but to talk with Tim, and talk with Mayor Fry. So I was like, you know what? We all know he's doing this because his polling numbers, the Republicans and people are not happy with him. But let's just be happy that finally things are going to quiet down a little. Then Wednesday, this new video of Alex Purdy 11 days prior kicking in an ICE van. And I was like, you know what? 3, 2, 1, Donald Trump and MAGA are going to say, this guy is a horrible person. And I came out here and also put on all of my socials to say, listen, this video is irrelevant. It's inadmissible in a court of law. It has nothing to do with the day of. Just because he broke the law 11 days ago, and he did break the law, you cannot spit at an ICE officer, okay? And you cannot kick a government vehicle and break the taillight. But just because he broke the law 11 days ago doesn't mean that he gets to be unalived 11 days after that. They're two separate incidences. They should have arrested him there because he broke the law. The day that he was recording and the day that he was unalived, he didn't do anything wrong. But of course, Donald Trump, MAGA, and the Republicans have used that video, and now the rhetoric is back. Look at this. Donald Trump put this out and said, agitator and perhaps insurrectionist Alec Purdy's stock has gone way down with the just released video of him screaming and spitting in the face of a very calm and under control ICE officer. Now, for those of you who saw the video, those officers were not calm at all. Okay, they jumped out that car, tackled him, wrestled him, whatever. And I said, that is them breaking the law because they should have come out, put him in handcuffs, and arrested him. So Donald Trump, this is flat out lying. Very calm and under control ICE officers. And then crazily kicked in the new and very expensive government vehicle so hard and violent, in fact, that the taillight broke off in pieces. It was quite a display of abuse and anger for all to see, crazed and out of control. The ICE officer was calm and cool, not an easy thing to be under those conditions, those circumstances. Make America great again. That is just a complete lie from the president of the United States. Those officers were not calm, okay? And he doesn't even have to say that they were calm. Why lie like that? It literally should just say, yo, he broke the law. The ICE officers tackled him. He's lucky they didn't get arrested. Anyways, you'll see right here, Donald Trump is a businessman. He's an investor. He's all about stock. So, hey, he got unalived. He didn't break any law. Okay, this is not going to be good for my stock. So let me just, quiet down my rhetoric. Oh, you have a video that shows he was wrong 11 days ago? Cool, I don't need to do it anymore. And now just today or last night at the premiere, somebody asked him, are you still going to be taking out ICE agents from Minnesota? He's like, no, we're not backing down. No way. And right now, as we speak, there's protests in Minnesota, LA, Philadelphia, and we're right back where we started because Alex Petty spit and kicked on an ICE agent 11 days before getting unalived. This is just crazy work, y'all. All right. Switching gears now. I got two more quick stories, and then I'm coming over to that comment section that I see blowing up. Olympic gold medalist. Is she a gold medalist? Olympic medalist Sha'Carri Richardson has been put in jail, and she got pulled over, and I have her arrest video. I'm going to play the beginning and then skip a little, but you're going to see her begging the officer to not arrest her. Take a listen.
My tire at the back is like maybe on 29.
So you're driving at 100. Hold on. You're driving at 104 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone with subpar equipment, flashing people to get out of your lights, out of your lane, following too close, using every lane to pass everybody, cutting me off, passing a car on the inside shoulder with their hazard lights on. You're going to jail for dangerous excessive speeding.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. My phone, I didn't even know my car was speeding.
That's why they give you a speedometer.
I totally understand. I communicate with you, sir. I really
No, like I told you, you're going to jail.
Please don't allow me to go. Please, sir, please.
Listen to me.
Please, sir. I really.
If nothing you say is going to change that. You are going to jail.
Sir, am I going to jail?
Yes.
Sir, I really was not intentionally speeding at
That's
all.
even more scary.
Sir,
that means that you're doing things unintentionally on a
sir,
task that
please,
requires
please,
all
sir,
your attention.
Sir, please, I'm begging you. I am
You are going to have a little bit of time to make some phone calls.
Sir,
you are going to jail.
Please,
I am towing your car.
Please, sir, don't take me to jail. I would do everything.
No.
Sir,
Damn, that's loud.
Sir,
The second option is...
I have a coach, everything, sir. I was not intentionally doing anything, and I am.
You're not listening. You're repeating yourself and not listening. Nothing you...
Sha'Carri went to jail. All right. And lastly, in some sad news, Catherine O'Hare has passed away at age 71, according to TMZ. And we all know Catherine O'Hare. She gained acclaim from Beetlejuice, Home Alone. She was the mom in Home Alone. Remember? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Kevin! That's Catherine O'Hare. Also, A Mighty Wind and a couple other things as well, too. So rest in peace to Catherine O'Hare. Okay, guys, really excited to come on over. We have already the most comments that we ever had. I'm coming over there. Just give me 1 second. I have a good social discussion quickly that I'm going to run for you guys. And then I'm coming over to the comment section. Let's go do social discussion right now. All right. Before we get to social discussion, I have a quick question to ask y'all. Is your computer, cell phone, or laptop vulnerable to data breaches? Hold up. Let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are. All three of them. If you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, go to my sponsor below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud to get your free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and Out Louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for your credit card or banking information. You got a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager. They also have US-based round-the-clock customer service in the event that anything should ever go wrong. Aura also includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open, all right? Link, it's my first link below, but also here is the QR code. Do not surf online without having protection. It's free for 14 days. All your information will vanish off the dark web, okay? Also, just want to remind you guys of super chats while we're on air and super thanks when we are off air. Everybody asks, do you have PayPal? Do you have Venmo? We want to give back. This is the best way.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
All right, and also do not forget to join the Out Loud membership. If you're on YouTube, you'll see a join button at the top, or you see a membership below, okay? All right, let's quickly, because I want to come to the comment section, but as promised, I'm always going to, on all show, we're going to have like a lesson or social discussion. Here is today's social discussion. Should you try to change your partner? Listen to this.
Fix the person you're dating. It's not your job, and you're not capable of it.
Wow.
And if you are dragging a boyfriend or a girlfriend to a level of life that they don't want to live at, what do you think marriage is going to look like? You used a perfect phrase, a growth mindset.
Yes.
Because I cannot change anyone.
No.
But we all have to change as life changes. If that person does not come with a growth mindset themselves, oh, I'm in trouble.
Run.
Okay, I really like that. So when he first started out, I was like, I don't know how much I agree with him. And I do and I don't, but I agree. I agree with him at the end. So, you know, you meet somebody and y'all know me already, right? This could be a relationship, it could be work, it could be friends, but you meet somebody, if it's like somebody who's so polar opposite, but you might like them, you might be attracted to them. Yeah, you cannot drag somebody along with you and think that you're going to change a person completely, right? Like, wow, I'm really attracted to them, but our values don't match. We're not the same people. We're not the same this or whatever. Like our missions in life don't align. You cannot change that person. But what he said at the end was the key thing. You meet somebody, you're attracted to them or whatever it is, or a job or a friend or whatever, and there may be some things that differ, maybe some value systems that differ. Here's the key. If they have a growth mindset, if they have an open mind, if they're willing to sit down and spend the time and talk and listen and be like, you know what? My parents didn't tell me about that, or I never knew about that, or my culture never, put time into that, or whatever, or where I grew up or whatever. But if they're a sponge and want to learn and have a growth mindset, then that is what's beautiful. So I don't like this theory of like, oh, no, I need to find my exact person. You can't change anybody. There are some people that will come into your life, or jobs that will be open, or a friend that might seem opposite, or might seem different, or might listen to different music, or might have a different religion. But as long as they have an open mindset, those are the people I love. Those are my favorite type of relationships. And you would be surprised. Those are the relationships that blossom, because I am very open-minded, as you guys know. But when you meet somebody who is equally as open-minded, you can grow and help each other connect and make positive changes. All right. So that is today's lesson of the day. All right. I'm coming over to the comment section first. Good show. Shout out to me. Shout out to y'all in the comment section. Shout out to us for making it through a week. Yo, I feel like we had a good week, and I'm coming over to the comment section to talk to y'all now. Okay. Let's scroll on up here. Really excited to see what's going on in the chat. What up? Okay. Miss C. Smith, it's Friday. Let's get it. Yes, Mystery. Hi, Trent. What up? Teresa, happy Friday. Out louders. Streaming from the UK and on Twitch. Trent. I think she meant hi, Trent. Hi, Gina. All the way from hello, Manhattan, New York. What up? Emma, hi, Trent. You need a theme song while we wait for the show to start. All right, I'll definitely look into that. Mystery said, it's Friday. Teresa said, when you post about Don Lemon earlier, I was shocked. No respect for journalism. Crazy, right? Christopher said, this Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker's in the building. Yes, we know, not the comedian, but this is Chris Tucker, a fellow Out Louder. And Chris, if I remember, it's me, Stephen A. Smith, and another podcast. I think I'm your first or second. Really happy that you caught alive, and welcome, brother. Thank you. Emma says, happy Friday, Out Louders. Happy Friday. Natasha's in the building. Bam. Miss C. Smith says, did you see what Shade Room just posted about the yes, I did, but I can't say it here on YouTube. It's on my Instagram page. Kim, hey, the birthday girl. Bam. What up, everybody? It's Friday. Hope everybody is enjoying their day and being safe out there. What up, Kim? Teresa says, Lemon did not break any laws in your opinion. I agree. Free Don Lemon, says Kim. Emma says, I was shocked to hear Don Lemon was arrested. I wasn't shocked. Like I told you guys 10 days ago, he might get arrested, but I get it. Crystal! Bam. What up, Trent Out Louders and the Trent Angels? Oh, yeah, I forgot. We got Trent Angels in the building. Happy Friday. Let's go. Happy Friday, Out Louders. I think it Sheila, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Spirit says, if you video the bank robbery and didn't contact police to report, then you're guilty as they are. Very good point. Hey Trent, what up, everybody? Emily, what up, Emily? Yeah. What up? All right. Lemon is being watch it play out. Chris says Dom is an activist and hope he gets charged. All right. Hey, listen, by the way, I saw somebody in my comment section, I think it was after we posted the video yesterday, and they said, hey, Trent, these agitators and these people on the right side are ruining your show, are ruining half your show with these comments. I completely disagree with you. Republicans, MAGA, please watch the show. Please comment. Chris, thank you so much. I completely disagree with you. I do not think that Don Lemon is an activist at all. He is a journalist. He has been for the past 30 years. And I do not hope he gets charged. I will be there at the court case, and I will protest if I have to peacefully for him not to get charged. But Chris, I do appreciate your bravery in this comment section, and I appreciate you being the opposite voice, because I say this all the time. I'm here trying to build a platform that people can come together and give their opinions. And as long as you're not rude or call anybody names, please, please, please keep commenting. So thank you very much for that, Chris. Stanley says, stop trying to kid yourself. Donnie Boy effed up. He seen giving coffee and donuts in a link up prior. Stop effing ignorance. He's a protester. You see, this is what the DOJ feels too, guys. Thank you, Stanley, for a comment. Emma says, so when will the Justice Department direct an arrest for crimes against Epstein case? We would all love that. Don is not a journalist. Filming a crime is not an activist. Thank you for your comment, Chris. Chris says, forget Don, arrest every... Natasha said, happy Friday. Crystal said, facts. Trent, Lucky said, are you serious? I don't know what that's up to. Don hating on Don. Trash Buster says, they went after him first. Your Friday femme says that man broke the law of the land and the biblical law. Margaret says people cannot protest on private property. Face Act don't Lemon was there pre-planned. Thank you, Margaret, for that comment. Stanley said he'll be someone's B word in jail. Now he'll have plenty of now. Trash Brusher said they should have known what was going on. They should have known what goes around comes around. Thank you for that comment. Emily says, free Don, enough is enough. Mac Daddy said, you spelled agitator wrong. Did I spell agitator wrong? I'm dyslexic. I don't know if you're talking to somebody else. Out Louders in the building. Hello from Austin, Texas. What up, what up, what up, what up? Me, myself, and I. What up, what up, what up? Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. All right, Debbie says, all Dem judges so full of hate. Don needs jail time. If you had watched the video when he was outside bragging about what it is, about what happened, this is why I played that video for y'all. Emma says, hey, Kim, are you celebrating your birthday this weekend? Yes, she is. She went out with her parents on Tuesday. I think she's doing some self-love this weekend. The way you define the FACE Act does not appear that he violated any of the provisions. Trump and Bondi shopped around until they found someone that would convene a grand jury and fed them BS. Well, when I did read it, I did say there are some gray areas, but yes, he is guilty. So GL, I don't know what GL that means. Hey, $5 super chat. Thank you, Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy says, lock him up. I don't agree. Mac Daddy says, lock him up. Teresa says, so much for democracy in America. Penn Den says, so why are you telling people this and why are you showing it? You've just made it possible for them to get their hands on information that says he knew in advance what he was doing. Well, listen, as much as I am a colleague of Don, I'm a YouTuber, I'm also about the facts. If somebody breaks the law, they break the law. I'm not going to hide something. That is what Don is saying that he's doing. Don is a journalist. I am a journalist. I'm a content creator. I'm a YouTuber. I'm not going to hide something that is a fact out there. If Don broke the law, then he broke the law. It will be up to the DOJ to play that in court and convict him. And if that shows that he broke the law, then yes, I'll be at court, and yes, I'll hope that he doesn't. But they will have to show that that video is him having knowledge, and that shows him breaking the law. Me, myself, and I says, are you talking about the girl and the baby and the Lake Michigan situation? Mr. Derek says you should be on our side. Don't it's not on the side of reporting or transparency though. Huh? Not on the side of reporting and transparency though. I am on Don Lemon's side. The title of this video is Free Don Lemon. In the kitchen with Cam, that's a cool name. Respectfully, Trent, this does not sound like you're standing with Don. Respectfully, I disagree. And I stand for what is right. I stand for the laws. I stand for receipts. So sorry if you feel that way. Don is going to be called Donna in the big house. That's Hall family. Hey, Kenneth is back. Welcome back, Kenneth. Kenneth says, this is what you MAGA do with no proof. Try to blame the judges are going left-leaning, when the truth is even Trump-appointed judges that ruled against Trump. 1,000%. Yeah, Trent, your headline is questionable, but most have come true. At first, I thought you were doing that for clicks. My bad. You were right again. Thank you. Thank you very much, Teresa. Listen, I know sometimes I get slack for the things that I do and the things that I say, but I know my heart. I know where my heart is at. I know the person I am, and I'm never going to do anything for clicks. I'm never going to do anything that I don't believe in. And like I said, my title was Don might go to jail. But that's why I love out louders like you, Teresa, because I'm playing with my chain here, because you guys will always, come back and give me my props or my grace when I am right. So appreciate that. And I'm not right all the time either. But thank you very much for that. Full Metal Clad says, wiggling their way out of law, name one. Allison says, excuse me, he was going as journalist who got a tip. Okay. Not going to read that. I love Trump. He's the greatest president ever. That's Jeffrey. Jeffrey, thank you so much. And guys, right, MAGA, the people who don't like Don, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for viewing and thanks for commenting. This is what I want my comment section to be. Dale said, it sounds like you follow the laws and the Gestapo laws. All right. Well, if that's how you feel, I'm sorry you feel that way. James says, we love you, Trump. Sean says, made up charges. Full Metal Clad said, all those charges were thrown out, bud. It's called a witch hunt. Mr. Derek says, it's not. He could be getting retribution all over, and he isn't. It's justice. Fair. Jeffrey says, when you break the law, guess what? You need to be punished. That's all he wants. Fair comment. I don't know how to pronounce this. Dip Day. Think he must have received some counseling before doing this. He's been a journalist for too long to stream his own criminal act. He's not Ray J. That's hilarious. You know what I will say to that, though? Two things. How many of you knew about the FACE Act? It could be that Don didn't know. This is not like, like I said, my example is, hey, I see some bank robbers in the street and on their way to rob a bank. We all know that it's illegal to rob a bank. It could be that Don didn't know that the FACE Act existed. You got to think that. As an independent journalist on YouTube trying to build up his name, he doesn't have the backing of a CNN, that CNN has a bunch of lawyers to say, hey, there's a FACE Act, or hey, this is. And, I know how it is, man. You go out here and you have your camera, you have your this, and you want this story. Don could have not known that he was breaking the law. And unfortunately, pleading ignorance is not an excuse. Again, do not want Don Lemon to go to jail. I do not agree with the FACE Act. I will be there protesting peacefully for all content creators. I want to be able to walk in with people protesting and document it. That's what I want to do. So anybody who thinks that I don't want this for Don is crazy, because this will set a precedent. And if Don wins this case, if it does even go to trial, this will set a precedent for YouTubers and content creators and journalists to be able to document even when somebody is breaking the law. This will be amazing. Somebody says, James Trump train. Mr. Derek says, stop listening to the propaganda, bro. You seem very cool and intelligent. Well, thank you very much. Kinda. Allison says, bootlicker trolls, what fools is out here professing love to a billionaire politician? Weird AF. James Miller says, Don Lemon is a loser. All right, that's your opinion. Sean said, stop it. All right. Kenneth says, Epstein file implemented Trump was released today and then later removed by the DOJ. Yep, I reported on that. He's going to be the... Okay, not reading that. Jeffrey says, they all went in together as a group. They're all charged for the same crime because they were a group. I think Don and that parking lot, man. And the fact that it wasn't just the parking lot of the church, it was another parking lot. Then he said, yo, we're going on a secret thing. And he went with them from that one parking lot to another. Now, what I would say if I was Don's lawyer, in that video, he said, we're going to a secret location. They didn't tell him where they were going. He was just following them. Well, we'll see. This will be a very interesting case to follow. Kim says, Allison, I totally agree with you. Reporters get tips all the time, so I don't see nothing wrong with him being in the parking lot with them getting the information to report. Jeffrey says, stop being so ignorant. Okay. Mrs. Eric says, you realize Trump gave up an empire to run for president, and the ones before him built an empire off of it. Okay, Mr. Derek, Trump did not give up an empire. Do you know that Trump has made $1.4 billion this past year as the president? Give me a break. And I respect your opinion, and I respect your comment, and I respect your admiration for Donald Trump. If you admire him, I'm all for it. But please do not think for a second that Donald Trump is like, man, I could be out here making billions of dollars. I'm going to just do this for you guys, the people. Stop it. Stop it. Jeffrey says, your ignorance to the law is incredible. You need to open up that small little brain ear and learn something. All right, Jeffrey, I will thank you for your comment. I was going to say something. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to read that. How can you just let them take your country? That's saying. Mr. Derek says, this isn't about journalism, but propaganda. Got it. Peace. Bye. Somebody said blah, blah, blah. Put the libtards in jail. Lemon got the LGBTQ looking crazy. David says, he had it coming. Don't feel bad for him. Shannon, what up, Shannon? I don't like double standards. If somebody on the right ran up in a mosque, the left would be outraged. So Don Lemon don't get a pass either. I would say the same if Nick something ran up in a mosque. Hey, Shannon, I'm out here getting hell for saying what I'm saying. Thank you for your comment. Richard says the courts must be so busy over there in the US since Mr. T came into power. Somebody said, boo. Brian says, hello from Australia. What up, Australia? Just started listening to you. You're a spineless coward who clearly got into likes. Loser. Hey, thanks, man. Shout out to Australia. Thanks for your comment. Evelyn says, wow, respect for sharing. Free him ASAP. Teresa says, the tea is hot. Talking on the truth. Can't investigate the attack on Renee, but Lemon is wide open. Yeah, but go live from the courthouse. We can start our campaign for Lemon now. Oh, 1000%. I love how... Okay, I'm not going to read that. Renee says, Diamond deserves... I think you meant Don, or maybe that's your nickname for him. Diamond deserves what he gets. He's an a-hole. And he said, leftist, that is so ridiculous. With this thought, he's and deserves prison. Thank you for your comment. Don't worry. All right, not going to read that. Just like the people from January the 6th, he's so guilty. Get over it. Wow, I love that we have a comment section like this. Half say he's guilty, half said he's not guilty. This is amazing. Thank you, guys. Robert says Trump is in the Epstein files. Trump is the capital. If you're going to the bank with these bank robbers, you're going to jail right along with them. Yeah. Teresa says fruit on lemon. Brian says don't talk about the church. Poof. Okay. David says they shouldn't have went in there. Teresa said free Georgia Fort. Allison says guilty of what? It wasn't about the service or faith. It was about exposing the pastors of their job. Guys, I've been trying to not to yawn for the past 2 or 3 minutes, but I still have not gotten any sleep. So I'm sorry for yawning. I know it's very, very rude. Very sorry. Shannon says, I love you still and out louder, but January the 6th was rounded up grannies walking around with a thermos. I feel like this right-left vengeance, and that's how civil starts. Morton said, leave Don's right there. He's he worked hard on that jailhouse cell. Enjoy it, Don. Star says, what I don't understand is Don was there as a journalist, but even if he was there as a protester, excuse me, isn't that a constitutional right to protest? No, because of the FACE Act. You cannot do that in a church. Well, you can in a church, but you can't block, you can't intimidate, etc., etc. Also, how come the others weren't arrested? Oh, there were other people that got arrested. Don't get it twisted. Somebody said, people defend yourself. David says, it was a little aggressive of you to barge into the church. Kathy said, laughing out loud, why do people think you're in charge after you break the law? Cry harder. Helen says, Trent, Louisiana up in here. What up, Louisiana? Somebody else said, oh, I'm very sorry for yawning, guys. I'm very sorry. These men cannot stop. Okay, we're not reading that. Why does your government think they run the world? Robert said, there were, I don't know if I should read this, because in the church who were scared you melt, you left wing Democrat. No. Okay, I knew I shouldn't have read that. Robert, let's not call names, please. I appreciate you guys here, but let's not have anything like that. Yo, to all the haters, Trent is not a Republican or a Democrat. He is just here reporting the facts. You are more than welcome to stay on this channel and have a healthy debate. Thank you, Crystal. Bah, 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 bah. You violated the law regardless of your right. Deal with it, sweetheart. Thank you for that comment. Crystal says, but if you would rather be lied to, then find a channel that welcomes your hate speech. Totally agree. Thank you. Thank you, Trent Angel. Robert says it was a little aggressive for... Yeah, I don't want to say that. Just open the door and go. She's an activist. You're talking about Georgia Fort. Shannon says right and left both have selective outrage. That's why I'm independent. Oh my gosh, feds are at her door. Gosh, oops, don't want to read that. Rebecca said bye. Later, Rebecca. Bye-bye. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. David says, don't feel bad for you or Don Lemon head. Bet you won't do that again. You have nothing to be afraid of. His face them. That's the worst they can do is arrest you. Number says you don't have the right to barrage in God's house and barge into God's house and terrify people. So much hate. Why? Shen says churches are private property as well. Allison says don't even know your rights are being trampled. I don't pronounce his name, but why are you in the church in the first place? AD says what y'all did was not a constitutional right. It was violating other people's constitutional rights. Bondi and Trump have given Don a bigger platform, just made him the most famous journalism. God works in mysterious ways. I'm glad somebody said that. I didn't want to say that, but like we all know Don from CNN, but there's still a lot of people, or I think even the younger generation that doesn't know who Don Lemon is. This is a huge victory in that sense that he's getting a bunch of free press and he'll be able to capitalize on this. But also too, like nobody wants to get arrested, right? So, Silverback says break the law, then use the First Amendment as a wall. Guess the church members didn't have any rights. Sunflower says you're not allowed to go into a church and do what you did. Need to look up laws. Another person says whatever Trump ICE does to them, ICE will do to you. It's hard to tell who is whom. Teresa says your mental health workers are going to have a ton of work ahead of you in regards of what is taking place with ICE in Minnesota. Many children are traumatized. Horrible. Totally agree. The reporters aren't the protesters. This is what is, if these charges stick, it will be a very interesting court case. Crazy ICE and Border Patrol stuff going on in Minnesota. Oh my God. I'm so sorry for yawning. It's so rude. It's not ICE and Border Patrol that's going crazy, sir. That's all. I'm out. Well, thank you very much. Jazzy Smith says you don't have to like the word Gestapo, but the behavior, mask agents, vague, journalists detaining, etc., etc. Helen says it is a fire mess. Don Lemon, what are the charges? Well, just rewind. I laid them all out. Shannon says there might be using these people for further divide CAA plans. Billy Jones says she's not lying. Somebody's laughing. Nikki is gross. The only Mr. Nine says so he can disparage her, but she can't say anything against him just because he's, I think I could say gay, doesn't mean he's not an a-hole. Hope he rots in prison. Reporters are taking a beating for trying to report. He doesn't and was canceled because he has no viewership. Don has a huge amount of viewerships, by the way. Okay, he has a huge platform on YouTube. Don't get it twisted. Somebody says he's in heaven in jail. Don Lemon in jail yelling, "Bubba, where are you, baby?" Robert says, interesting how the January 6th insurrectionists were pardoned by Trump. This is the problem with Trump. Like, he does things like this, but then pardons J6ers, but then doesn't investigate the agent. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Sorry, very, very rude. I'm sorry. Doesn't investigate the agent who unalived thing. This is the problem with Trump. He is never consistent. So, that's why I stand with Don. Your country needs help. I'm out. Something says looks like Lemon FAFO. Nikki is attracted. Not gonna read that. Don Lemon is in jail yelling. No. Lemon squeezers. Trent, why are you shirtless on these streams? I'm not shirtless on these streams. I have a shirt on. Lemon drop. Mike's laughing. Lemon is a complete racist leading ahead. Okay, let's just not get too silly here now. Lemon is cooked and it's about time. Don Lemon needs to spend some serious time in jail. Wow, there's a lot of you who think that Don Lemon should be in jail. Y'all think Don Lemon is in jail? Pop is hilarious. Trump is in the Epstein files. Dump truck Donnie sold out for beachfront property in what? Breaking news. All right, we're not going to do that. Thank God for Trump. And we, yeah, Catherine O'Hare, that's very sad. I'd be real interested in knowing how much the taxpayers got to spend the time in federal agents to arrest Don Lemon in the middle of the night in Los Angeles over a warrant like this. Good question. All redacted. That was from Ruth. There are no files, only documents. No, we're not going to read that. Terry says, I'm assuming all of you calling for Lemon to be jailed are either bats or completely delusional MAGA nuts, because nobody else could be that ridiculous. This is a clear case of reciprocity prostitution. Some big words there. User says, and they're already been released. Think about the Epstein files. Hey, Trump hypocrites. Why did Trump pivot from being a real estate investor in the 90s to acquiring several pageants? Did they says Nicki had to find a new path. She's a bit too old to be running around on stage in skimpy outfits, a little ridiculous. 40 years old. She's 40. She's still a woman of color. Okay, I don't know what you're saying there. The Capitol, didn't CNN fire Don Lemon for something he said? Yep, like I told you, they are not on good terms. Liberals, okay, this is hypocrisy. You're late, Mr. Liar. Okay. Shannon says, so we need victims to come forth, point to perps out, and we need perp walks. Mystery says, we'll never get the whole truth on the Epstein files. The powers that be have taken out their bits. Exactly. Like, we're never, I would love to, but it's just never going to happen, man. Easy work. Foster says, why wasn't it released in 2011? Democrats would have made sure it was out if there's anything huge about Trump 15 years later, and it finally comes out. Scott says Biden and the Democrats had them 3 years. They didn't release anything. That's what I'm saying. They're all in there, man. I know they're afraid, but I'm sure wish the victims would just say their names. Yeah, but they're afraid they'll get sued if they say their names, by the way. The Democrats scrubbed the files when they had them 3 years ago. Crystal says, yo, all you ignorant minions, why do you hate the Constitution? Why do you hate America? How about you go sit down and read something, go learn something, then come back here with better vocab? Me and myself and I said, Epstein files are crazy work. Shelly says, I believe it. Pluto says, why you have braids? You was never thuggish in the 90s. What a ridiculous. Hey, thank you for your comment, Pluto. We all know who only watches Fox News. They only become something under Trump. Me, myself, and I says, what are they gonna do about them files? We already see nothing. Teresa says, update, Don Lemon released without bail. Oh, really? He's been released. Yo, Don is out. Nicki Minaj, White House says the gold card was only just a memento. Oh, he's out. Don Lemon, I spent my life covering news. I will still not stop.
What's going on, because obviously I haven't seen anything. I've spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now. In fact, there is no more important time than right now, this very moment, for a free and independent media that shines a light on the truth and holds those in power accountable. Again, I will not stop now. I will not stop ever. Last night, the DOJ sent a team of federal agents to arrest me in the middle of the night for something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, and that is covering the news. The First Amendment of the Constitution protects that work for me and for countless of other journalists who do what I do. I stand with all of them, and I will not be silent. I look forward to my day in court. Thank you all.
Content creators, Don Lemon is free. Yay! Don, hold on. Woo! Don is free. All right, let me go back up to here. Darn it. I knew doing that I would lose my space. Darn it. Hold on. I don't want to miss anyone's comments. Oh gosh, the tea is hot. Okay, here. Oh no, here we are. We're at 6:15-ish. By the way, thank you very much for that, Teresa. Where were we? Darn it. Trent, why are you streaming service on Lemon? Where was it? Come on. That's why I hate leaving the screen, because I have to start all over again. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I'm coming up close. There we go. Boom. All right. Next one is do not free Don Lemon. The people are happy with Donald Trump. Well, no, he is free now. All right. Hillary's emails had everyone in her emails, both parties. Facts. What's wrong, Pluto? You're jealous. Trent looks how sexy Trent looks with his braids. Thank you, Crystal. Ego says they put the squeeze on Lemon. Ha. So funny. Teresa, next court appearance with Don Lemon is scheduled for February the 9th. Yo, I'm going. I am going to LA February the 9th. Yo, Don Lemon. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be crazy. All right, we're going. Ryan says you might lose monetized by saying unalived. I don't know what you're talking about. We're not going to see that. The CEO was kind of a scumbag. Let's not say that. When journalists get arrested, protesters get unalived, immigrants lose process, all the ruling families crash out in proxy. That's not democracy slipping, it's corruption. Thank you for that comment. Crystal says, yes, Trent, can't wait to see your live coverage. Howdy, Trent. Kate from London, UK. Crystal says she agrees with Jazz. Shan says Trump was involved with something and beauty pageants, Obama with Richard Branson. Safe to say kick in the bucket. Jessica says, I bet you that's how she got paid for her appearances. Don Lemon talks crap, so she begs Trump to him. Trent, whatever. Jazz says, when leaders sue the state, jail the press, sell coins, and turn politics into entertainment, the system is already sick. Thank you, Jazz, for that comment. Jessica says, can't repeat that. Nicki needs some money. Okay. Are you these comments are crazy. NN journalist Georgia Fort was released today from custody. Fort's comments document what is happening in our country is not a crime. Love that. Thank you for that update, Teresa. The system is on life support. Okay, Kim is just saying hi to Shannon. Go see. Okay, whatever. Are you? Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Anything, everything is so performative. Mystery says, Trent, you're so funny with your Nicki video clap. She must feel so important that she's up there in her box. Yo, Nicki's a joke, man. Lemon needs prison. Still doesn't constitute. Okay. I see you got no comments, so nobody is watching you. Okay. Thanks for your comment. Hey, Melva, happy Friday. Crystal says, hey, kind of like how the insurrectionists were peaceful, nice young men, right? Somebody says, you have no problem with you, had no problem with Obama doing the same thing. What are you talking about? Shannon says, I'm really tired of the right using past history or record to smear victims. This podcast is a joke. Bye. Well, see you later. It's not a podcast, it's a show. Crystal says, when has Obama ever done any of the ish that Trump has done? Please, I would love to have a healthy debate with you. You see, that's how Outlouders are. We want to have this debate. Tailgate versus a life. Trump can take a long walk on the short pier, Kim the Magnificent, Shannon said. Draw says, what got shot was, okay, we're not going to read that. This guy saying hello. That's a bot. Yes, he is. Okay, you guys are just having a little conversation. Boom, 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 boom. Da-da-da. I loved watching Catherine in the movies, R.I.P. Oh, how sad. Oh, sorry. Oh, how sad. She played in Creek. Oh, dear. Sha'Carri is in big trouble just when her athletic career was going so very well. She's always getting herself into trouble, man. Yes, somebody says yes. Me, myself, and I says yes, she's going to jail. Kim says, you know what? I ain't even gonna lie. I'll be feeling magnificent. Emma says, stop playing. She played in Ish Creek. Kim, you're that lady. Yo, Kim is the lady, yo. Mishi says, there was 2 Out Louder streamers' birthday today, but they may be out tonight celebrating. It's Friday, wishing them. Oh yeah, thank you very much, Mystery. I forgot about that. Happy Friday to the Out Louders. That is their birthday today, but not here. Hopefully you're on Monday. We'll sing to you on Monday. Shannon says, right and left enjoy vigilance too much. Linda says, hey, Trent. Hey, Linda. We need to revisit how Rome fell. Good point, Shannon. Midterm elections looking bad for whatever. Good night, Out Louders and Trent. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. Ted says, driving, missing that ass hat parade of comments. Susan says, people will change for who they want to change for, and usually it's for the right person. Love that. Thank you, Tez. Mars says, hey, Trent, just got here. Yo, Mars, what up? Burr, 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 burr. Mars, you got to rewind and watch it. Kim says, good night, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. Neil says, that was a stunt, not journalism. Thank you for your comment. Chris says, personally, I do not think it is a good idea to be trying to change anybody. It's a waste of time. Unconditional love means seeing a partner's potential reflect their negative behavior, but being okay accepting them either way. It's not unconditional love if you're trying to mold them into a completely different person. Totally agree with that. Pro said, fruit. I don't know what that means. Hey, Lamies, South Africa in the building. Yo! My South Africa what do you call a female brethren? Yo, my South Africa queen princess, what up? Oh my gosh, it's my first live I caught. I've been watching the uploads after. Trent, where is Linda? I have no idea where Linda is, but Lamies, what up? I can't believe you caught a live. So happy that you're here. Bank robbery isn't the same as a protest. I know, but I'm just using it as an analogy. Linda says, I am here. There's Linda. I don't know if that's the Linda we're talking about, but there she is. No reparations, no vote. Couch all day. Joe says, what Don Lemon did in that church was not journalism. That was activism and violence. He needs to be charged. Crystal says, sorry, guys, for an answer. Weird autocorrect. I'm driving. That's okay, Crystal. We know where your heart is at. Katie from Don Lemon. But if anybody knows of journalism, documentary filmmaker Louis something, he was interviewed, filmed, and something with individuals engaging in legal highly. Miss C. Smith says, keep up the great work, Trent. I look forward to your shows every day. What are your thoughts on the pause of the visa for 75 countries, including Jamaica? I know my mom sent me that today, and I was like, yo, my mom's not very happy about that. And of course, I'm not happy about that. There should be nothing on Jamaica. We're beautiful people. So let me see. Good luck. Don made a statement. I think he's being released. Yeah, I just played that, Mars. Thank you very much for letting me know. Lamus is not gonna lie. America is making South Africa look like a walk in the park. Lamus, I'm so happy that you're on this live. Mars, all the uneducated people saying Don needs jail time. You are part of the problem. You can live in North Korea if you want. We'll see how long you can handle it. Allison said Lemon went on the I've Had It podcast and said all of this. Trent isn't exposing anything. Thank you. Kim says, here, where's my boy, Will Wallace? Hope all is well with you, Will. Shout out to Will. Kiss said, Trent out loud, Luigi state case in NYC, no cameras in New York courts unless they make an exception, just an FYI. Wait, hold up. Luigi state case in NYC, no cameras? For them to have no cameras in a state case, that has to be a special ruling. If there's no state are allowed to have cameras, but maybe there is a ruling that I don't know about. Thank you for letting me know about that, though. Mars says, I will eat popcorn when they arrest I'll arrest Donald and his administration. They all need to be charged with treason. Mars says, hey, Crystal, and the rest of Out Louder Angels. Stacy, what up, Stacy? Love the cornrows. Don Lemon is not a journalist. A journalist doesn't have an opinion. They report the news. Hey, thank you for your comment, Stacy, and thank you for the compliment. Mars says, so do all you MAGA heads? Katie says, howdy, Kim. Thomas says, God bless the DOJ. Thank God Don Lemon and his is finally locked up. Thomas said, BS. Mars says, do all you MAGA heads also agree Trump should get arrested too? He's a criminal. He's broken laws many times. Mario said, BS. He clearly broke the law. F around and find out. Crystal says, yes, for each brother, this dude is funny but correct. They aren't any amendment people because they hate the Constitution and our amendment. Adon says, well, it's up to $2 billion now. That's Donald Trump making money. I can't believe somebody said Donald Trump gave up an empire because he wanted to help us. Give me a break. I mean, you could like Donald Trump all you want, but let's not be fooled. Haters gonna hate. Keep doing your job, bro. Thank you very much, Robert. Appreciate you. Robert Edwards says, I'm back in Australia as well, mate. Sky News tells us facts. Trump is not racist. First Step Act, criminal reform. Something Zoom, big up. Black woman. Okay, I don't know exactly what that's all about, but thank you for your comment. Robert says, ask him why the Democrats voted against to release them. You Americans are so brainwashed. Stacey says, Don Lemon broke the First Amendment right. Crystal says, I got you, Mr. King, but unfortunately I'm driving, so I can't be the moderator today. Don't worry about that, Kim. I appreciate you. And thank you for tuning in, even though you're still driving. Drive safe. Don't text and drive. Mars says, So I'm comparing robbing a bank to protesting in church. They are two different things. Mars, we already had this conversation. It's just an analogy. I'm just using the law breaking. I understand they're two different things, but if you just look at the fact of law breaking, take away the bank robbing. If somebody is breaking the law and you see them, yes, you can document it, but can you go and be with them while they are breaking the law? Forget the bank robbing. If somebody is on their way to breaking the law, can you document that? Whatever the law that they're breaking is, if they broke a law, can a journalist ride along? That is the question, and we'll find that out. Rights been going away. Patriot Act. I don't know this name, but I don't agree with them going inside the church, but I don't think Don should be arrested. He constantly stated he was not a protester, but a journalist. As Stacey said, these charges will definitely stick. Mars says, at this point, it's not, are you a Democrat or Republican? It's, are you human or not? Deborah says, they can't keep our lemon drop. I'm glad to know that I guess that he's out. Allison says, jail pop general population. Don is in a holding cell till his bond is posted. A lot of haters in the chat. They're condemning him for that reason. Remember, hit dogs will holla. Mars says, the people who want Don. Emma says, hey, Mars. Emma said, hey, Crystal. Shannon says, I don't understand the outrage. Jan 6 Floyd riot, Minneapolis protesters, all includes their intentions were and against our government. I wish it would just unite. Chris says, laugh out loud. Trent, did you seriously just look down to see if you had a shirt on? I was like, what are you talking about? Mars says, the people who want Don Lemon in jail voted for Trump. Renee G says, it wasn't complete. I don't agree. Who is in there? Arrest them all. My back is starting to hurt. I gotta find a better way to read these comments without having to Deborah says, all this stupidity, we the people are with you, young men. You are with lemon drop. God bless you, young man. Hey, thank you, Deborah. Appreciate you. Depp Play says, Nicki forgot she's a woman of color, not MAGA preferred. When they finish parading her, she'll realize, mess around and find out. Don Lemon is live at 8 p.m. Okay, Don is live at 8 p.m. All right, I'm going to make sure I'm off before that so we can all watch it. Somebody said he bent the knee. Freedom. Go Don. Head go Don. Go out louders. Messi says, thanks, Trent. Don't question his decision to have braids. Thanks, Messi. Messi Lala. Emma says, Trent, your hair is nice. Thank you, Emma. Emma. Simon says, thank God. I guess because he's out. Shannon says, well, now I can see all kinds of places of worship going to be interrupted now with a new agenda. Hey, sorry for not responding because I'm driving. Messi Lala says, I love both parties. Everybody is different and bring something to the table. Wow, I love that. I'm not the only one here. Messi Lala, I love that. You definitely are a great out louder. Mystery says, great show again tonight. Trent, thank you. Messi says, we need to be there up north. I'm driving now. EDZ says, Don had foreknowledge of what they were planning. I'm sure he had an idea. Trent covers both sides. Why question his braids now? He's been wearing braids. Thank you, Messi Lala. But they're just hating, jealous people. I see Nicki has made a lot of money for her choice. My friend, stay safe on the road. This means everything. Mystery says, hey, Trent, love your braids and the way you dress. You're so full of energy. Don't go changing. We love you just the way you are. You know me. I'm never changing, Mystery. Messi Lalo says, they got to stop attacking Trent. Get out the chat and our questions. Let them be, man. Let them be. Can we block that person? Obama crapped all over the Constitution. Stop it. Sonia said, hello, Trent. Hello, Sonia. Renee says, Trent, you are a beautiful man. Thank you very much, Renee. Corn Pop does this. Felicia says, I was just coming on at that time. Renee says, no cameras in NYC courts. I thought, no, there's no cameras in federal, but you should be able to have cameras in state. Renee says, oh, they arrested the wrong Don. Just saying. Jenna says, I knew I was unprogrammed when I could understand both sides exactly and see the Trojan horse. Your hate runs the system. They rule on hate and fear. Trust Don will be sued and Don will be suing and will win. That was Simone. Renee says HBCU grants were in place already for the prior administration. Trust Don will be suing and he will win. Renee says Lemon was charged with the FACE Act and the A Act as a black man. This was way too much. Okay. When they start arresting people because 47 butt hurt. All right. The same people wanting Lemon arrested cheered for the release of the J6ers. Oh, I came to an end. Correct, Renee. I'm already in LA when Don sees the judge. And Simon is no E. My name is Simon. Simon is no E. All right, I'm dyslexic. Sorry, but thank you for letting me know that. Perfect. All right, let me do my sign off, and I'll come back to any last comments. So stay tuned while I do that. But before chat, everybody who tuned in, thank you. A really, really good show. I really love when I could do a show and play videos and take things from places and put everything together. So I love days like this. And of course, I love that it's a Friday. Very, very excited to get my weekend kicked off. All right. Before I let you go, I just want to remind you of 3 things while we are on live. If you want to give back to the show, you can give a super chat. After we are off, you can also give a super thanks. You might see a button underneath their video or beside with the 3 dots. Just click that. Also, do not forget to sign up to be an Out Louder. If you're on YouTube, you see the join button or the membership tab. Sign up and be an Out Louder today and give back to your favorite YouTube host. And thirdly, we have the link below. Do not forget to sign up for Aura. If you're ever wondering of any of your information being on the black web or why you get weird text messages, use the link below. For free for the next 14 days, Aura could show you any of your information, social security number that is out online, and they could take it off for you free of charge for the next 14 days. All right, so use the link below. Also, before I let you go, just want to remind you of 3 ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud show. The first one is for people who love listening to shows like this. You can go to any podcast platform and listen. Just go to any pod site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And we upload daily, 5 days a week. Now, if you're like me and you like video, head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud. When you're over there, I need you to do 6 things, please. First 2 is hit that subscribe and like button, get that algorithming. The third thing is please try to comment. Thank you all for all the live comments. I still need to see comments at the bottom of the video. We need to get these conversations going for the people who did not catch the live, okay? Now, for those of you who don't want to join in on the conversation, I don't want you to feel pressured, but what you can do is comment where you are listening from, which country or city. Every night before I go to bed, I look at the comments underneath the videos, and one of my favorite things to see is how global the show is. So please let me know the country and city you are watching from. 4th thing, please share this channel with your family, friends, and loved ones. If you're enjoying the show, we're trying to build a platform and a community. Like you saw today, I would say it's around 50-50. We have Democrats, we have Republicans, we have independence, we have MAGA, we have everything around here, okay? We're trying to build a community. Yes, I understand that some people might get a little rude and may have a little profanity here. Just ignore them. But there are people who want to discuss and give their points on both sides. So if you know somebody that likes healthy discussion and loves news reporting from the middle that sees both sides, please share this channel because we're trying to grow this platform. Okay, we want to be around 10, 15 years from now. New media. Also, sign up for the Out Loud membership and do not forget Super Chat or Super Thanks. Now, the third way to keep up with the Trent Out Loud show is through streaming. It's something that we started this year in 2026. We stream weekdays at 5:30 p.m., around 5:30 p.m., sometimes a little bit late. And we stream live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We have 2 different streams on YouTube. We have one for to fit your phone and one to fit your TV and or laptop. We also stream on Twitch. We stream on Instagram and we stream on Kick. All right. So for those streamers out there, make sure you catch us. Or for those people who like to catch us live, we are there. So that is the 3 ways to keep up with the show: podcast, video, and streaming. Now, for those of you who want to follow me outside of this show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's also the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, please try to follow the Trent Out Loud show on Instagram. I want all you guys to follow me there because I'm able to talk to you guys and bring you breaking news and give you my takes outside of this 1 hour or 2 hours. I do stuff in the morning and at lunch. I do it at night. I do it on the weekend. And what I love about it, it's unrehearsed, unabated. I could be coming out the shower, going into the shower. That's why somebody was like, why do you have your shirt off? Because it's literally just raw. It's Instagram. It's meant to be fun. I could play videos in its entirety out there. I could talk about the Epstein files more freely. I don't have to worry about flags on YouTube's and saying words, like unaliving and stuff. So if you really are enjoying the show, you're really going to follow me over there on Instagram. All right. It's really, really good. And like I said, I could get you up to the minute information. So follow me over there, please. All right. Let me come over and see if there's any last comments before I sign out. There is one from, I think it's Hamed. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Hey, I could share. Okay, no, that's a bot. Crystal says, Trent, you know the song that's the ish I don't like. I'm dedicating to all these B-A-word haters. Crystal, you are hilarious. M says, Trent, you are nice inside and out. I wish I could have my students watch your show. You are an inspiration with all the you're an inspiration to all dyslexic people. Thank you. And can you let me know, is it Emma or is it M? Am I pronouncing your name right? I think it's M because there's no M-A, right? So I think it's just M. Or can you just spell it out for me when you have a chance? I just want to make sure I'm not pronouncing it right. But thank you very, very, very much for that. Mystery, good night, Trent and the Out Louders. Good night from the UK and the only person on Twitch. Thanks, Mystery. Linda says, Los Angeles, love it. Teresa says, Simone is her name. Who is that? Is for Simone. Who is Simone, Teresa? YouTuber says he is out now. Yep, I know he's out. We put that up. Oh, Simone, just make sure you cancel before the 14th day. They'll charge you on that day. Okay, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but thank you. Ditto said, love you. Your hair always on point. Thank you, Ditto. Somebody said BR. Tez says, made it home and listened all the way. What up, Tez? Sonia said, you're awesome, Trent. Love your open forum. Thank you so much, Sonia. Shannon says, Trent, you're a king. You don't entertain hating peasants. Shout out to Shannon. Ditto said, and beer too. Thank you. Shannon says, Trent the Great. Thank you, Shannon. Crystal says, Trent, thank you for another great episode. I love you, my king. Happy Friday to you, my fellow angels, and the rest of the Out Louders. Hope y'all have a great weekend. That was beautiful, Crystal. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in while you're driving. MSC Smith says, You need a Netflix show. Well, Netflix is getting into podcasts and shows, right? So we got to work hard, keep following, keep subscribing, keep liking, keep sharing. And Monday, I will get there. All right. The last comment is from Tez, not the other, or T's, Tess, not the normal Tez, but anyways, let me just read it. I understand. Hold on. I understand that the church that Don went into was ran by a pastor that was part of ICE. Yes, that's true. Miss C. Smith says, great work on the hit topics. And now the last one is Ditto says, I was midnight before, by the way. I usually hear in the back. All right, that was the last comment. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm really excited to get my weekend started. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. Be safe out there. Watch any episodes that you may have missed. I will see you on Monday, unless something like crazy pops up, but I'm sure everything we'll just hope everything is like calm, cool, and collective. And if not, I will catch you guys on Instagram and bring you the breaking news there. Have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in all week. We had our best numbers since we started streaming. These have been our best numbers all week, and it's all because of you guys. Because you guys are going to have a great weekend. Thank you. I love y'all. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.